Your aging father notices everything about you, far more than you could possibly realize. Today, I'll tell you what your father secretly notices about you and the quiet, aching reason he never says a word. If you have an aging parent, subscribe. This channel is about understanding the people who raised us. To understand why, you have to know something about how a father sees his child. He has been watching you for your entire life. He watched you take your first steps. He watched you on your first day of school and learned the exact look on your face when something was wrong. He has spent decades studying you, more closely than anyone else ever has or ever will. And that does not stop just because you have grown up and moved out and built a life of your own. To you, you are simply walking in the door for an ordinary visit. But to him, the moment he lays eyes on you, a lifetime of quiet observation switches on. He reads your face, your posture, your voice, the look in your eyes in the space of a single second. And he knows, often before you have said a word, how you are really doing. And here is the part that matters most. Almost none of what he notices will he ever mention to you. He has learned over the years to keep it to himself. He doesn't want to embarrass you, or worry you, or intrude on the grown life you've made. He doesn't want to be the father who fusses, or pries, or makes you feel watched. So he loves you the only way he feels he still can, quietly, from a respectful distance, noticing everything and saying almost none of it. And do not underestimate how good he is at it. He is, without any competition, the world's foremost expert on you. He learned your moods before you could even speak. He can tell your real laugh from your polite one, your true "I'm okay" from the one you use simply to end a conversation. 30, 40, 50 years of practice have made him able to read you in a single glance, even now, even when you live far away and he only gets to study you for an afternoon at a time. He has simply also learned, as you grew up, that a grown child does not want to be read aloud, and so he keeps his findings to himself, a private, tender little report that he files away after every visit and never once shows you. Let me show you what he sees. The first thing he notices is your face, and specifically, how tired you look. The very second you walk in, before the hellos are even finished, his eyes have moved across your face and read it like a page he has known by heart for decades. He sees the tiredness around your eyes. He sees the new lines that weren't there last time, the weight you're carrying in your shoulders, the way the light in your face dims a little when you think no one is looking. He notices when you seem worn down, when life is clearly taking more out of you than it's giving back. He remembers the bright, untroubled face you had as a young person, and he can see exactly how the years and the responsibilities have started to press on it. And it stirs something deep and protective in him, the same instinct that made him want to fix everything for you when you were small. He wants to ask if you're getting enough rest. He wants to tell you to slow down, to take care of yourself, to let him help somehow. But he usually doesn't. He just says, down, whether your eyes are bright or heavy, whether you're moving through the world with energy or just getting through it. If you've clearly been having a hard time of it, he sees that too, written in the set of your jaw, the slump of your shoulders, the smile that takes a half second too long to arrive. Part of him wants to send you straight to bed and quietly handle everything himself, the way he could when you were 10 years old. But you're not 10 anymore, and he knows it. So he watches your tired face, and he aches a little, and he says nothing. He notices when something is wrong, even when you are certain you've hidden it perfectly. You think you have your brave face on. You think your "I'm fine, Dad" sounds convincing, but he has heard that exact phrase from you 10,000 times across your whole life, and he knows the difference between the version that's true and the version that's covering something. He hears it in the tiny catch in your voice on the phone. He sees it in the way you're a little too quick to change the subject, or a little too bright, or a little too quiet. He can feel the way a parent always can when his child is troubled, when there's a worry or a sadness or a fear sitting underneath the words. And it is its own particular kind of helplessness for him, because the instinct to protect you never fades, but his ability to actually do anything about it has. When you were small, he could pick you up and make it better. Now all he can do is notice and worry and wait to see if you'll let him in. Most of the time, he won't push. He'll give you the room to keep your guard up, because he respects that you're an adult with your own life. But make no mistake, he knows. He almost always knows. And if you ever did decide to tell him what was really wrong, you would likely find that he wasn't surprised at all. He hears the false brightness in your voice, or the way you fill the silence a little too quickly, or the one subject you keep carefully steering around. And long after the call has ended, or the visit is over, he sits with it. He turns it over.
He lies awake wondering what's really going on with you, whether it's your health, your job, your marriage, your kids. He runs through the possibilities the way only a parent does, with that particular ache of loving someone whose pain you can sense but cannot reach. He won't call you out on it because he decided long ago that he would never be the kind of father who corners his grown child. He'll simply wait, with the door left open, hoping you'll one day walk through it. He had seen it the moment you walked in. If you're starting to see your own father in this, to realize how much he might quietly notice about you, then keep watching, because the deepest things he sees are still to come, and so is the real reason he never speaks of them. He notices how you have changed, all the small ways you've become who you are. He sees that you're always busy now, always reaching for your phone, always with one eye on the next thing you have to do. He notices the habits you've picked up, the way you talk, the person you've grown into over all these years. Some of it makes him proud beyond words. He sees your kindness, your competence, the good things in you that he likes to believe he had some small hand in. And some of it makes him a little wistful, because he can see the carefree young person you used to be getting slowly buried under the weight of adult life, the same way it happened to him.
He notices when you're distracted during a visit, when part of you is somewhere else, when the demands of your own world are pulling at you, even as you sit across him. He doesn't take it personally, or he tries hard not to. He understands, because he was once exactly where you are, stretched thin between everything and everyone. But he notices. He notices the way your attention flickers, and he treasures the moments it lands fully on him, and he never, ever says how much those moments mean. He hears your mother in the way you say certain words, or himself in the way you lose your patience, and it moves him in a way he could never quite explain. He notices the dreams you used to talk about that you don't mention anymore, the corners of yourself you've quietly folded away to make room for responsibility. And when he watches you with your own children, being firm, being tender, being exhausted, he sees himself at your age so clearly that it takes his breath away. He notices that you've become, somewhere along the line, a whole entire adult who no longer needs him the way you once did. He is proud of that. It is exactly what he raised you for. It also, quietly, breaks his heart. He just quietly hopes for more of them. He notices when you are worried about him, and he sees right through the reason you're really there.
He can tell when a visit or a phone call is coming from love, and he can tell when it's coming from guilt or duty or worry, and he understands and forgives both. He notices you watching him a little more carefully these days, checking whether he's steady on his feet, whether he's eating right, whether he's slowing down. He sees the concern flicker across your face when he forgets a word, or moves a little slower, or repeats himself. He knows you're keeping an eye on him, the way he once kept an eye on you, and it touches him more than he can say, even as it quietly breaks his heart to have become someone you worry about, instead of the strong one you could always lean on. He notices you trying. He notices every effort you make, even the small ones, even the ones you think go unseen. The phone call you squeezed into a busy day, the visit you made when you were exhausted, the patience you showed when he was difficult. He sees all of it, and though he will probably never tell you, he notices when you've clearly rearranged your whole day just to fit him in. He notices the little things you do now, topping up his groceries, fixing the thing he couldn't quite reach, looking up the answer to a question he didn't even ask out loud. He notices you being gentle with him on the days he's slower or more forgetful than he'd like to be, and that gentleness lands somewhere deep because he knows what it costs you in patience.
There is a strange grief in becoming the one who is cared for, after a whole lifetime of being the carer. But there is also a quiet wonder in it, in discovering that the child he once carried in his arms has grown into someone who now tenderly carries him. He notices every bit of it, and though he will probably never tell you, those efforts mean more to him than almost anything in his life right now. He notices the weight you are carrying, the burdens you would never dream of telling him about. He knows you have your own struggles now, the pressures of work, the worries about money, your own children to raise, a marriage to tend, 100 quiet battles he isn't a part of anymore. And he notices when those things are weighing on you, even though you go to great lengths to keep them from him. He understands exactly why you hide them, because you don't want him to worry, because he's done enough worrying about you for one lifetime, because you've reached the age where you protect your parents from your problems, the way they once protected you from theirs. He sees you doing it. He sees you carrying it all and putting on a brave face for him. And there is a deep, bittersweet pride in watching his child shoulder the world the way a grown adult has to. But oh, how he wishes he could lift some of it from you.
The single hardest part of growing old, for many fathers, is the slow loss of their power to protect their children, to sit there and see your child struggling, and to know that the days when you could fix it are gone. So he notices the weight on your shoulders, and he carries his own quiet helplessness about it, and he says nothing, because he knows that offering to help might only add to your worry. He notices the call you step outside to take, and the worry you carry back in with you. He notices the way your face tightens, just slightly, when the talk turns to money or work or the future. If he had any way to take those burdens off you, he would do it in a heartbeat and never once mention it. And the fact that he largely can't anymore is one of the quiet sorrows of his old age. He watches you doing for your own children exactly what he once did for you, pouring yourself out for them, and he understands the true cost of it better than anyone else alive. He wishes he could tell you that it's worth it, that you're doing far better than you think, that he sees how hard you are trying. He notices all of it. He just doesn't know how to say it without making you carry his worry on top of your own. He just loves you and watches and wishes. But here is the real reason he notices it all, the reason underneath every other reason, the one that explains the silence.
Your father studies you so closely, drinks in every detail of you, because some quiet part of him knows that his time to look at you is finite, and he is, without ever telling you, memorizing you. Every visit he is storing you up, the sound of your voice, the particular way you laugh, the expressions that cross your face, the gestures you don't even know you make, the exact way you look sitting across from him in the afternoon light. He is gathering all of it, holding on to it, the way you hold on to something precious that you know you cannot keep forever. He notices everything about you because he loves you with his whole heart, and because he understands, in a way you may not yet, that there will not be an unlimited number of these moments. That is also why he stays silent, because how could he possibly say it? How could he tell you, "I'm watching you so carefully because I won't always be here to watch you," without breaking both your hearts? He can't. The words are far too big and far too sad to ever say out loud. So he simply keeps looking, and keeps loving, and keeps every observation locked away in his heart, where it can't hurt you. All that noticing, all that quiet, devoted attention, it is not surveillance, and it is not worry, not really. It is love. You can see it, if you know to look for it, in the way he watches you leave.
Notice him sometime, standing at the door or the window as you walk to your car, his eyes following you the whole way, lingering a beat too long before he finally waves. That is a man taking a mental photograph. That is a man making sure he has you, just in case. After you've driven off, he carries the visit around with him for days, replaying the things you said, smiling again at the joke you made, holding the sound of your voice in the suddenly quiet house. He may keep a photo of you somewhere he can see it from his chair.
He knows, in the part of himself he never says out loud, that the number of these visits is not endless, and so he refuses to waste a single one of them looking anywhere but at you. It is a father trying to hold on to his child for as long as he possibly can. So the next time you are with your father and he is quiet and he is just looking at you, understand what is really happening behind those eyes. He is not just sitting there. He is seeing you. He is reading the whole story of how you're doing and worrying about you and being proud of you and memorizing you all at once and saying none of it. And knowing that, you have a chance to do something beautiful. You can let him in. You can sit a little longer and put the phone away and give him the gift of your full attention so that the moments he's storing up are good ones.
And you can say the things to him that he can't quite say to you, that you love him, that you see him too, that you're grateful. Because while he is busy noticing everything about you, the truth is that your time to notice him is finite as well. He has spent your entire life looking at you, and he will spend whatever is left of it doing exactly the same. The least you can do, and in truth, the most, is to look back at him with that same devoted attention, before the chair across from you is empty. So look back at him, really see him, while he's still sitting there in the afternoon light. If this helped you understand your father a little better, take a moment to subscribe and share it with someone whose father is still here. And then go and let him see you, really see you, while there is still time.